All right, y'all, what's happening? All right, y'all, so we're going to get into episode 2. This is going to be under the wealth creation video series. Episode 2. How do you create wealth? How do you create wealth? This is a very good question. It's a legitimate question. It's a question I think people kind of ask all the time. But people don't really get the answer to it, in my opinion, that they can build on. So I'm going to discuss it. I'm going to talk about it. In order to create wealth, you need to be early in an asset that is going to stand the test of time. Be early in an asset that is going to stand the test of time. The way that markets work are in direct correlation to the monetary system that we use for the currency that we use for our money. What I mean by that is markets appear to be something that we invest in, that we put our money into, and that grows as a result of, a company's profits. If you're investing in a company, whatever it is that you're investing in, the profitability of that company or that entity or whatever that thing is going to determine if you're going to be profitable or not. This is our perception of how markets work. We think that a company's earnings, their profitability, all of these things go into whether or not a company's stock is going to go up when we invest in it. But the price of a stock, just as an example, does not necessarily reflect the earnings of the corporation at the time. So yes, earnings are part of it. Profitability is part of it. The success of the company is part of it. But you know what else is part of it? Just in general, over time, markets go up in price as a result of the expansion of our money. Some of you may not have any idea what I'm talking about when I say that. Our money expands. What do I mean? Our money is constantly being printed. More and more currency is constantly being injected into the existing supply of our currency. Some of you need to take a look at economics, macroeconomics, the monetary system, what the USD actually is, and not just USD, every currency. Every country's currency is backed by the central bank that prints that currency. For the United States, our central bank is the Federal Reserve, which is actually not a bank. It's actually a private corporation. See, you need to educate yourself before you start investing so that you'll know what it is that you need to do ultimately in order to be successful in this endeavor of investing, or what we call investing. What we're really attempting to do is to create wealth. And I'm going to explain how wealth is created. Unless you're wealthy already, if you don't have wealth, because in the last episode I talked about what wealth actually is. Wealth is having enough financial resource that produces itself without you having to work on a job, for example, without you having to run a business, for example, in order to produce that cash flow. That's what wealth is. Wealth is having so much money in a nest egg that you never touch the nest egg because it's so big, and what the nest egg produces as far as cash flow as a percentage of the nest egg is more than enough to pay for all of your bills. Like, think about that idea. It's like whatever your bills and your expenses are, imagine all of your bills being paid for and you don't have to go to work to do it. You don't have to run a business to do it. You don't have to do anything to do it. Your money, the money that you have in your nest egg, is producing more than enough cash flow as a percentage of the nest egg to more than pay for all of your bills. That's what wealth is. That's not you being rich, because you can get rich today and all the money be gone tomorrow. For some people, rich is $500,000. It might be $1 million. Might be a couple of $1 million. But if you spend the principal, meaning if you actually spend that money, eventually the money what? Runs out. So you were rich, but you spent it all up. Now you're not rich anymore. Wealth is taking that money, and instead of you touching that money, you put that money to work in something, in a vehicle that as a percentage produces more of the cash flow. Or I should say more of the cash that you're putting in. So if you're putting cash into a vehicle, the percentage or the yield that it earns should be more than enough to pay for all of your bills and all of your expenses and anything that you want to buy, anything that you want to do. Like there's a very effective way to go about functioning without having to have a job and having to go to work and having to, run a business of some type, having to do these things for money to pay your bills. That's what wealth is. That's why I even created this series, so that you can understand what wealth is and then how to create wealth. Because in order for you to create wealth, you have to follow the same principles that wealthy people have followed. Now, what do wealthy people do? Assets. They put their money in assets. Oh, Mark, I don't have any money. You do have money. You have a job, right? You have some type of income. You have money. What you need to learn to do is to create cash flow in excess of the money that you're spending on your expenses. And when you do that, the excess cash flow can go into an asset or multiple assets to create wealth for you. Now, to create wealth at the level that we want to do it at, it has to be put into an asset that is early. Or I should say, you need to put your money into an asset that you're early in. So in other words, if you're dealing with markets, you need to be investing in whatever that market is before the crowd comes. Y'all make sure you pay attention to what I'm saying. And you can take any example that you want to use. IBM, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia. Take any example that you want to use. When people are looking at stocks and looking at companies, whatever a company is doing, one has to be something that you believe in and that you're passionate about. And then you need to be investing in that company in the beginning, before the things that you believe that the company will do actually happen. Before the things that you believe that the company is capable of, or let's say the founder of that company, or the person who's running it, or the team that's running it, if you believe in their ideas for what they want the future of that company to be, you need to accumulate that asset early. And I'm doing this on purpose. I'm using stock as an example on purpose because it applies to whatever it is. Now, for us, it's crypto. And not just for us, for everyone paying attention, it is crypto. Crypto is the easiest way for you to create wealth. And not how you think. I'm not talking about Dogecoin. I'm not talking about meme coins. I'm not talking about finding the next coin. I'm talking about understanding what crypto is and understanding how it relates to the monetary system, because I need to rewind a little bit and go back to what I was kind of focusing on in the beginning of this. The monetary system is directly correlated to the increase in price of assets. It's directly correlated to the increase in price of products. You'll hear a word that is always used. It's called inflation. You know what inflation means? Inflation is expansion of the monetary system. It's the expansion of our currency. When they print more currency, it dilutes the value of the currency that is already flowing in the economy. And it has to be reflected somehow. Well, how does it end up being reflected? In the prices. Why do you think the prices of everything keep going up? You ever notice that nothing comes down? How much was bread 5 years ago? And I want y'all to really pay attention, and I want y'all to do this experiment. It's like an experiment. Eggs, bread, milk. How much did these things cost 5 years ago? How much did these things cost 10 years ago? How much did they cost 15 years ago? The further back you go, the less it costs. What is that telling you? It's very clear what it's telling us. It's telling us that, oh shit, prices go up all the time, and inflation is constantly increasing no matter what. Exactly. So because you always have inflation, and what inflation is the expansion of the money. That's what inflation is. They're able to print unlimited amounts of money to do whatever they so choose to do with the money. Wars. It'd be nice if they, use it to do student loan forgiveness. Just pay everybody's loans off. Just print the money and pay them off. I'm just saying. Since y'all are in the business of printing money, they can print money and they can use it for whatever they want to. The military power, they can use it to send, resources to other countries who are in trouble. They can use it to do whatever they choose with. Stimulus, they can do helicopter money, right? Send out another stimulus. All of this is expanding the currency. It expands the money that we use. And ultimately what happens is the value of the money goes down, and prices of everything goes up. You ever notice real estate prices constantly go up? You ever notice that the stock market constantly goes up? Oh, but the stock market is volatile, goes down. Real estate had a bubble and it bursted and it went down. Yeah, it went down, but over time, when you zoom out, over 20, 25, 30 years, real estate prices have gone up. Stock market has gone up. Price of eggs going up. Price of bread going up. Price of cars going up. Price of clothes up. Why do everything go up? Guess what? All the prices will continue to go up. Now, what happens is it's done slowly. It's not like, oh, it's a big, huge jump. Like, oh, look at the prices doubled. The price of bread it doubled. It's not going to double overnight. But it has doubled over what? The last 10, 15 years, has it not? I'm just saying. Y'all tell me. Go look it up. Go Google it. What was the price of bread 10 years ago? What was the price of bread 15 years ago? Prices go up. It's the same bread. It's the same eggs. If you own land is the same. Land, it has not changed for millions of years, billions of years since the earth been here. It's the same land. We're not even talking about the development of the land. We just talking about land. If you just bought land and held on to it, the price of the land or the value of the land has gone up. Over time, it goes up. Everything goes up in price. Nothing goes down. Think about it. Even when you go to the dollar store. When you go to the dollar store, shit ain't even $1 no more. It's like $1.25, $1.35. I thought this was the dollar store. Nope. Nothing in the store is $1. Matter of fact, no. Some of the candy is $1 in the front. Do you ever, some of y'all don't remember when a bag of potato chips was 25 cents. Do any of y'all remember that? 25-cent potato chips. How much are chips now? Are they even 50 cents anymore? They was 2 for $1. Like maybe a year, no, not a year, a couple of years ago. 2 for $1. I remember seeing two for $1. Now, when I look at chips, they be $2 and change for the same bag, the same 50-cent bag. It's $2 and change. Why am I talking about this shit? I'm talking about this because I'm trying to show you guys how obvious it is. It's like it's hidden in plain sight. And people don't pay attention to this stuff. They don't understand how the monetary system works. They don't understand how inflation works. They don't understand how investment works. They don't understand how wealth creation works. All you need to do is align yourself with the same principles that the wealthy people have been using the entire time. Everyone that has become wealthy, like there are plenty of people that weren't born wealthy, but they're wealthy now using these principles. Be early in an asset that is going to be here over the long term. That's it. That's all you got to do. So now we are in a very unique time because we have crypto. Crypto is the gradual shifting of wealth. It's a wealth transfer. I've been talking about this for a while now, but these videos are going to help to kind of like reel you in and bring you in and close it so that you finally understand what this is. It's so obvious. Like, to me, it's very obvious, but I know to most people, they're not paying attention to anything. They're busy watching Netflix, so they don't give a shit. They're watching all of these series that's on Netflix. They're not paying attention to what's actually happening. Because what's happening is there are going to be a bunch of people who are paying attention who are going to become wealthy over the next 5, 10, 15 years. And you're going to be left behind because you're not paying attention. You don't even need a lot of money to become wealthy. You need to be consistent with applying the principle that creates wealth. And it's a very simple principle. Be early. That's it. Just be early. Just imagine. At this point, we have a precedence already for crypto. It's called Bitcoin. Even Ethereum. They have proven what crypto is capable of doing and what crypto will continue to do. Now, when you have something that has already been proven and then something or someone comes along and they make it even better, and then you're early in that thing, think about that. What took, in Bitcoin's example, 14 years? What took 14 years to prove, it's not going to take that long in the new and improved version of Bitcoin. And there is a new and improved version of it. There's a new and improved version of Ethereum. I'm in the space. I already know what it is. And I talk about them. And you need to pay attention. Because you can be early. See, people be thinking that, oh, it took a year, or it took 2 years, or it took... No, that's not a long time. Bitcoin has done what it has done over the course of about 14 years. I think Bitcoin started in 2009, if I'm not mistaken. And here we are now, 2024. I think was it 2009? 2009, yeah, 2009. So we're in 2024, so we're going on 15 years. So, now you're hearing about a Bitcoin ETF, Ethereum ETF, because it is shifting into the mainstream. ETF means retirement plans, pension plans, 401ks. That's what ETF means. It means retail investors. It means institutional investors, private equity, venture capitals. That's what ETF means. Bitcoin and Ethereum are just getting ETFs after 14 years of Bitcoin's existence. So the proof, like I said, it took 14 years to prove that crypto is what it was created to be. And mind you, there have been, different kind of sneaky things done to centralize Bitcoin and crypto overall. But there is a difference between the centralized version of crypto and then the real decentralized version of crypto. And that's where I'm going with this series. You're going to become more and more aware of what the difference is, because the opportunity for Bitcoin has really already taken place. Bitcoin is going to continue to go up. I did a video years ago, and I was talking about Bitcoin is going to be $1 million one day, and it will. But you have to understand, $1 million relative to where you begin to accumulate the asset, it may or may not be life-changing wealth. If you start buying Bitcoin at 100,000, see, some of y'all gonna wait. You're gonna be like, oh, if Bitcoin's 100,000, I should start buying it. you want to buy it at 100,000, and even if it goes to 1 million, just as an example, let's say it goes from 100,000 to 1 million quick, like in a year or two. That's a 10x. A 10x is not life-changing. 100x could be life-changing. 1,000x is life-changing. And 10,000x is definitely life-changing. So how early do you want to be? Because the earlier you are, the more X's you will have. And in order for you to have those X's, you have to be willing to hold the asset. That's another difference also. Wealthy people hold on to the asset. They don't sell as soon as it goes up and, oh, I'm cashing out. Because they understand that it represents wealth. It represents the thing that's going to continue to be here over time. And if this thing is going to be here over time, then the transfer will continue to take place. The same way that Bitcoin is still going up in price. Ethereum still going up in price. You'll see the cycles take place and don't even pay attention. I remember when Bitcoin dropped and it went below 20,000. And I had mentioned it at the time on the stream I was doing. I said, you know what? Bitcoin's back under 20,000 now. Some of y'all were buying Bitcoin when it was, up above 60,000. How many of y'all bought Bitcoin at 69,000? You bought it at 69,000, then you see it drop down below 20,000, and then you want to sell when it's dropping down below 20,000 instead of buying more. This is the psychology of the average person. Because the average person is not capable of becoming wealthy because they don't follow the wealth principles. You got to understand that if you know that this is an asset that's going to be here, then the drops, or when the price depreciates, those are the opportunities to accumulate the asset. But no, that's not what most people do. What do most people do? They buy when shit starts going up again. Matter of fact, they wait until it goes up first. Oh, Bitcoin is at, watch what happens when Bitcoin is at like 75, 80,000. By the time Bitcoin reaches 100,000, my DMs are going to be lit up. Oh, Mark, have you seen what Bitcoin's been doing? Yeah, I've been seeing what Bitcoin's been doing. I've been buying Bitcoin since it was $600 every week. And I was telling folks to buy Bitcoin every week. Had a whole website, buy Bitcoin every week. It's still there. It goes directly to a podcast that I did, telling you what to do. So, a lot of you don't understand why. It's like, well, damn, why should I be doing this? Because this is how you create wealth. That's why. Be early in an asset that's going to be here for the long term. Be early in an asset that ain't going nowhere. Bitcoin ain't going nowhere. Ethereum ain't going nowhere. And like I said, there are better versions, more improved versions of them. And there's even a bank, an exchange for the better version. You got Ethereum and you got a better version of Ethereum. And then you have the exchange that Ethereum, not Ethereum, that the better version of Ethereum lives on or is traded on. In order to enter that system, you have to go to the bank. You got to take money, go to the bank and swap your dollars for the actual native token of that chain. Just like when you go to buy Ethereum, where you got to go? The majority of you probably go to Coinbase, right? And you swap your US dollars for Ethereum through the Coinbase exchange. The only problem with that is Coinbase is centralized. meaning that Coinbase collects all of your information. They know exactly who you are. They have restrictions on how much you can buy. Am I lying or not? If you just open an account with Coinbase, you got restrictions for the first 30 days or so. You're not allowed to even buy more than X amount. So here's someone telling you what you can and cannot do. Oh no, you can't buy that much. What? It's centralized. And what happens, like I said, when you have centralized entities controlling something, it's not in your control. And if anything would have happened to that entity, guess what happens to your money that is sitting on that with that entity? It's under their control. So if they go bankrupt, you're not the first one that they paying out. Their creditors are going to be the first ones that get paid out. And you as the customer, sorry, you may not get nothing. I'm just saying, like, this is just one thing that can happen. This is why you need to learn how to do self-custody, how to engage in decentralized finance. You don't understand how important it is yet. DeFi is important for wealth creation. Because what will happen also is when you do become wealthy and you have control and access to all of this money, do you want somebody telling you what you can and cannot do? Oh no, you can't. No, you can't withdraw that much. What are you using it for? I don't want nobody to be able to tell me nothing. I want to be in control of my resources. You can't do that if a centralized entity controls your funds. That's the difference between centralized and decentralized. And like I said, that's what the better version of Bitcoin and the better version of Ethereum are doing. They are decentralizing Bitcoin and Ethereum the way that Bitcoin and Ethereum were intended to be. Because right now, like I said, when you go to Coinbase or Kraken or any of these exchanges to open an account, you got to submit all your information, your social security number. They want you to, you get a form at the end of the year from Coinbase to pay taxes, etc. That's centralized. And on top of that, like I said, if something happens to the entity where your funds are, where does that leave you if something actually does happen to them? All right, so I can go on and on. I need to cut this right now. This is episode 2. So y'all make sure that y'all pay attention to these videos, man. Like, I'm not doing this just to be on here just talking for no reason. I'm doing this for y'all to become educated. I'm doing this for y'all to understand how to actually create wealth, how to improve your actual personal finances, etc. Because they're all intertwined. Like, the first video in the personal finance series I did, you need to watch that. Pay attention to what I'm saying. I start talking about half and half. Think about half and half. Mark, what are you talking about? Milk? No, not milk. Not half and half creamer. No. Half and half. You take half and you use that for the bullshit. You take the other half and you start putting that towards creating wealth. Some of y'all got habits that are whatever they are. You like to gamble, or you like to drink beer. You like to smoke weed. You like to buy sneakers. I don't know what your vice is, or whatever it is that you like to do with your disposable income, but you need to stop disposing all of it. Half and half. You take half of it and start disciplining yourself and only spending half. Whatever you can get with that half, feel free. But the other half goes to building your wealth. The other half goes to creating your wealth. And how do we create wealth? We have to be early in an asset that's not going anywhere. Crypto, y'all. Crypto. And real DeFi. In other words, real decentralized crypto. There's a lot more coming. Y'all pay attention. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all know what it is. Mark Fuller, Team Alliance. Come on, y'all. Pay attention, man. This content is here for a reason. I'ma holler at y'all. Y'all know what it is, man. Deuces.